I watched her tip a whole bag of trash onto my mom's wheelchair ramp, then just smirk and walk away like she did nothing wrong. Hey, how's your mom doing since the surgery? She's hanging in there. Getting up and down those porch steps was murder, though. That's why I finally got the ramp installed. Oh, thank God. Honestly, I don't know how she managed without one. Yeah, me neither. She tried to play tough about it, but I saw her struggling. The ramp's been a game changer. I saw it. Looks great. Real solid. Did you build it yourself? No. Hired someone from down the block. Took him a weekend, passed inspection and everything. Good on you, man. She deserves to move around without feeling like it's a chore. That's what I thought. She actually cried a little the first time she wheeled herself down without help. Oh. Yeah. Then came Karen. Oh boy. Exactly. First week was peaceful. Then I noticed a banana peel on the bottom of the ramp. Okay. Maybe a raccoon? That's what I thought. Until it happened again. This time with a soda can and a fast food bag. What the hell? Right on the ramp? Right in the middle. Like someone placed it there. You sure it wasn't the wind or something? I live in a cul-de-sac. No wind is strategically. Dropping half a cheeseburger and a crumpled napkin on a wheelchair ramp 2 days in a row. Fair point. What did your mom say? She thought maybe the trash guys dropped something. I told her I'd keep an eye out. Did you start watching? More like I started noticing. Like what? Trash only showed up the morning after Karen's dog walks. Seriously? Dead serious. Every time she walked her little yapper past our place the next morning, bam, more trash. A bag of chips, coffee cups, even cigarette butts. Wait, she smokes? Doesn't matter. She carries stuff. Always got something in her hand. She's one of those people who treat sidewalks like her personal landfill. And the ramp. Why? The ramp? Exactly. Why target the one part of our property that's meant to help my disabled mother? She has a personal issue with your mom or something? No. In fact, Karen used to wave at her. It's like once we got the ramp, we were suddenly beneath her. Like the ramp made our house ugly or something. She ever say anything? Just once. What? Must be nice to just wheel around and not worry about stairs like the rest of us. What the? Yeah. Pettiest thing I'd heard all week. I thought she was just being bitter. Didn't expect trash warfare. You talked to her? Not yet. I wanted to be sure. Man, you are patient. I'd have said something after. The second rapper. Trust me, I was tempted, but I didn't want to blow up unless I had proof. Smart. Still, how does someone even justify trashing a wheelchair ramp? That's what I was trying to figure out. Did anyone else see her do it? Not yet. But my neighbor Chris? He saw her drop a cup by the base of the ramp and keep walking. You confront her? Not yet. I wanted to give her a chance. I cleaned it up, nodded at her the next morning, didn't say a word. She act weird? She looked right at me, smiled, like she knew. That's cold. Next day, there was a bag of garbage tied to the handrail. No way, swear on everything. A tied-up kitchen trash bag dangling off the side like it was part of the decor. Did your mom see it? She did. I tried to pull it off before she came out, but she beat me to it. Just stared at it for a minute. What did she say? Why, does someone hate us this much, honey? Dude, I've never wanted to rage cry so bad. She looked so defeated. Like the ramp was a mistake. Like it made us a target. Did you still hold back? Not anymore. That was the last straw. I decided I was going to catch Karen in the act, even if I had to sleep on the porch. Please tell me you set up a camera. Better. I sat outside with a cup of coffee and a folding chair. Every morning. Like clockwork. Did she show? Oh, she showed. And she looked annoyed that I was even there. Let me guess. Trash didn't appear that day? Cleanest ramp all week. She knew. She definitely knew. But I wasn't about to play hide and seek. So what now? Now? I wait. Because Karen doesn't quit. People like her, they escalate. You're not gonna believe what I found this morning. Don't tell me. A moldy sandwich. On a paper plate. Smack in the middle of the ramp. Are you serious? Dead serious. She upped the game. She's not even pretending. It's an accident anymore. Was she walking her dog? Yep. Same pink leash, same dumb visor, same smug walk. Except this time, she didn't even glance at me, just tossed it like she was feeding pigeons. Did you say anything? Oh, I said plenty, but not to her. Yet. You're playing the long game? I'm done playing. I told my mom I was setting up a camera. What did she say? Just be careful, honey. She seems like the type who'll cause real trouble if you make her mad. She's not wrong. I'm still doing it. I hid a camera in the mailbox. Post. Real subtle. Motion activated. Wide-angle lens. Nice. Next morning, what do I see on the footage? Karen, walking slow, looking around. She's got a grocery bag in her hand. No. She stops at the ramp, pretends to stretch, then drops the bag under the railing and walks away. She didn't even try to hide it? Nope. Like she thought she was invisible. Like she was doing the neighborhood a favor. What was in the bag? Old receipts, crumpled tissues, 2 empty tuna cans, and a broken phone charger. What kind of psycho dumps electronics on a ramp? She is the HOA vice president, by the way. Wait, Karen is HOA? Oh yeah, that's when it all made sense. She thinks she owns the street. She thinks the ramp is unsightly and makes the neighborhood look depressed. You know what she said in a meeting once? What? I wish people would think about community aesthetics before installing personal structures. That's so coded I need a translator. She never said ramp, but everybody knew. I could feel people looking at me, like I was dragging property values down with a $300 slope of wood. That's disgusting. I wanted to throw my chair across the room, but I didn't. I sat there, took notes, and smiled. You still didn't confront her? Oh, I was getting close. But I needed something more. Something big. You already had the footage. One clip of her dropping trash? HOA could say it was an accident. You're kidding. They'd call it circumstantial. Maybe it fell from her pocket. Maybe it blew from another yard. I needed her caught in the act, eyes locked on the ramp, hand dropping trash like it's a ritual. So, you kept the camera running? Every single day. I added a second one across the street, angled, from the bushes. Double surveillance? I was done messing around. Karen wanted to make a statement? Fine, so would I. Did you catch her again? Oh yeah, 3 days later. She shows up with a plastic grocery bag, looks around, and literally flips it upside down on the ramp, like she's salting a sidewalk. What the hell? Coffee filters, rotten lettuce, empty yogurt cups. Who even eats that much yogurt? She's unhinged. She even had the nerve to kick the trash around like she was spreading mulch. Okay, that's it. You gotta burn her down with that footage. I was almost ready, but I wanted one last nail. What more do you need? I needed her voice, something spoken, something that screamed, I meant this. So what did you do? I left a Bluetooth mic on the porch, synced to my phone, sat inside, pressed record. You bugged your own porch? Yep. And it worked. No way. I waited until I heard her dog's nails clicking on the sidewalk. Then I pressed record and she walked right up, muttered something under her breath, and dumped trash like she was feeding ducks. What did she say? I told them this ramp was a hazard. Maybe if it looks disgusting enough, they'll finally remove it. No. Got it loud and clear. Dude, that's game over. She straight up confessed to deliberate sabotage, in her own words. You gonna show your mom? Not yet. She doesn't need that stress. You gonna show the HOA? Oh, definitely. But not before I go public. Wait, you mean neighborhood Facebook group, front page, audio, video, commentary, the whole Karen saga. Bro. She wanted attention, she's gonna get it. What did you post? Title: Wheelchair ramp or trash target. You decide. You posted the video? Both angles. And I captioned it. Imagine being mad that someone's mom can safely leave the house. How long before it blew up? 10 minutes, 5 shares, 20 comments. Everyone was tagging her. What were they saying? This is disgusting. Karen strikes again. Hope the HOA sees this and removes her. She should be ashamed. My favorite was, you messed with the wrong ramp. Okay, that's legendary. She didn't comment, but guess what happened the next morning? Please tell me she showed up. She did. No dog, no bag, just her. She stood at the ramp, looked at the cameras, and flipped both middle fingers before walking off. Classy. But here's the thing, she hasn't dropped trash since. Not one wrapper, not one bag. She knows she's been caught. She knows she's done. Hey, you're not gonna believe this. Please tell me it's not more trash. Oh, it's trash. And a face-to-face showdown. You caught her? Yup, this morning. And you won't believe how she acted. Okay, I need every detail. All right, so I was already up. Couldn't sleep. I heard her dog's leash jingle. I stepped outside, coffee in hand, and just leaned against the railing like I was enjoying the morning air. She didn't see you? Oh no, she saw me. She hesitated for like half a second, but then just kept walking. Like nothing was weird, bold. She walks past the ramp, slows down, and, you won't believe this, she pulls a granola bar wrapper out of her pocket. No! I swear. She holds it in her hand, looks around, and when she thinks I'm not paying attention, she pretends to trip and lets it fall. She pretended to trip? Did the full stumble. Even clutched her dog's leash like she was losing balance. Unbelievable. Wrapper lands right on the top of the ramp. And you said nothing? Not yet. I just stared at her. Didn't move. Didn't blink. Just let the silence hang. What did she do? She stood up, adjusted her sunglasses, and then, get this, smiles at me and says, "Oh no, must have slipped." What? I said. Really? You just accidentally dropped that trash? Again? She responded. It's just a wrapper. Maybe if your ramp wasn't right in the middle of everything, it wouldn't be such a magnet. She blamed the ramp? Like it's some kind of litter trap. Like it's asking to be disrespected. What did you say next? I said. My mom uses that ramp to get into the house. You think her mobility is a magnet for your garbage? She backed down? She didn't even blink. Said, well, maybe if she didn't need a ramp, this wouldn't be an issue. What? I lost it. I said, so now you're mad at my mom for needing accessibility? That's your stance now? She must have realized how insane that sounds. She didn't care. She just said, I'm just saying. Some of us take pride in how our homes look. I would have blown up right there. I almost did. But I said, you do know I've got you on video, right? Dumping trash? Talking about how you want the ramp gone? She frees? For a split second. Then she just shrugs and says, what video? Deny, 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 I said. You'll see it soon enough. The whole neighborhood already has. What did she do then? She pulled her dog close, looked me dead in the eye, and said, you think anyone cares about your little Facebook stunt? People like you are the problem with this place. People like you? That's what she said. I asked her, people who care for their family? People who build ramps so their mom doesn't break her hip again? She say anything? She muttered, it's always about you people needing special treatment. Then turned and walked off. Okay, that's full-on discrimination. Exactly. She's not just rude, she's hateful. You gonna report that? Oh, you better believe it. I've got the whole encounter on camera too. Audio and video. You recorded this. Too? I never turned the porch mic off. And the mailbox cam caught her stupid fake trip perfectly. That's gold. I sent it straight to the HOA and the local community page. What did the HOA say? Well, Karen being vice president made things tricky, but the pressure was building. You think they'll actually do something? They have to now. She's harassing a disabled person by proxy, targeting medical accommodations. That's a legal issue. What did your neighbors say? Oh man, they went off. One person said, she dumped trash on a ramp meant for someone's mom. Throw her off the board. Finally some justice. And someone else posted, this isn't just a neighbor feud. This is harassment. Get legal involved. Did Karen respond? Of course she did. She posted a big fake apology. Let me guess. I was misunderstood. Bingo. She wrote, if I ever dropped something accidentally on the ramp, I apologize. It was never my intention to upset anyone. Lame. She ended it with, "Let's work together to keep our neighborhood beautiful." After she trashed it? Yup. Classic Karen damage control. Did people buy it? Not even close. The comments tore her apart. Good. Somebody even made a meme of her dropping trash with the caption, "HOA Queen or Garbage Gremlin." Okay, that's genius. Meanwhile, I got messages from 3 neighbors I've never even met saying thank you for standing up to her. That's gotta feel good. It does. But I'm not done yet. She's still on the board. Still walking around like she owns the place. What's your next move? I'm going to the next HOA meeting, in person, with the videos, the audio, the whole file. You're showing up with receipts. I'm gonna ask for her. Removal. Publicly. No more whispers. No more hiding behind a screen. She's gonna lose it. She already has. Now it's just time the rest of them catch up. The HOA meeting was at 7 p.m. I showed up at 6:45, flash drive in my pocket, Bluetooth speaker in my backpack, and receipts printed out in color, just for flair. When I walked into the rec center, I could already feel the eyes on me. Half the room had seen the footage. The other half had heard about it. Karen sat at the head table like she was hosting an awards show. Floral blouse, that ridiculous pearl necklace, and her smug little nameplate, Karen Mitchell, Vice President. She didn't even look at me. Just adjusted her mic and gave some fake smile to a guy in the second row. But I waited. I waited through 30 minutes of boring updates about lawn care violations and mailbox paint consistency. When they finally opened the floor to resident concerns, I stood up slowly. "Name and address for the record," Karen said without looking up. "My name is Caleb Martin. I live at 1839 Sycamore Lane, and I have a concern about targeted harassment, abuse of authority, and a total lack of basic human decency." That got her attention. Karen looked up. The room went dead silent. "Excuse me?" she said, blinking like she didn't already know what was coming. I didn't waste time. I pulled out the flash drive and handed it to the board secretary. "Everything's on here. Security cam footage, audio recordings, Facebook posts. I'm submitting it all as part of an official complaint against Karen Mitchell." Her jaw twitched. "This is slander," she said. "Actually, it's evidence," I replied. "You've been dumping trash, your trash, on a wheelchair ramp, my mom's ramp, because you think it's ugly or lowers your property value, or whatever twisted reason you made up to justify it to yourself. I have never. You've been caught multiple times. Video doesn't lie, audio doesn't lie. You literally said, on tape, that you hoped the ramp would get removed if..." It looked disgusting enough. There were gasps. I heard someone whisper, "She really said that?" Karen shifted in her seat, but she didn't interrupt again. I wasn't done. I get that people have preferences about how things look, but this wasn't about aesthetics. This was about cruelty, about control, about trying to shame someone for having a mobility aid. I pulled out the printed screenshots next. Here's what the community thinks of her actions. These are the comments from our Facebook group. These are your neighbors, Karen. The people you claim to represent. And they are disgusted. Someone in the back said, "Read them." So I did. She dumped yogurt cups on a disabled woman's access ramp. She should resign immediately. If she stays on the board after this, I'm pulling my HOA dues. We need to elect people with empathy, not people who treat neighbors like trash bins. By now, Karen looked like she wanted to melt through the floor. I turned to the board president. "So I'm formally requesting a vote to remove her from the HOA board." There was a beat of silence. Then the president cleared his throat and said, "According to bylaws, a special vote can be triggered by member petition. But in light of this situation, I'm willing to call for a board-level vote to recommend her removal, pending community approval." People clapped, actual applause. A couple of folks even stood up. Karen sat there frozen, hands clenched in her lap. I could have stopped there, but I had one more thing to say. I turned back to the crowd. "I'm not just here to get justice for my mom. I'm here because this should never have happened in the first place. This ramp doesn't just help her. It helps anyone who's aging, injured, or temporarily disabled, and it should be treated with respect, not like a garbage pile." Then I pulled out a folder. These are quotes I gathered from a dozen other neighbors who have ramps, mobility issues, or ADA accommodations. You'd be amazed how many of them have been whispered about, mocked, or even cited for unsightly modifications. More murmurs. Karen wasn't acting alone. She just got caught first. It's time we stop pretending this neighborhood is only for people who look and move a certain way. I held up the folder. So here's my proposal. We use this mess as a wake-up call. We start a community initiative to audit all HOA rules against ADA compliance, and we start offering support, not fines, for families who need accommodations. Silence. Then someone up front said, "That's actually a really good idea." Another person added, "I'd volunteer to help." Then the president nodded and said, "Caleb, thank you. We'll add that to next month's agenda." And as for the matter of Vice President Mitchell, he turned to Karen, who now looked like she'd swallowed her tongue. I move that the board hold an emergency vote on her conduct. All in favor? 4 out of 5 board members raised their hands. Karen looked like she might explode, but she didn't say a word. Motion passes, the president said. We'll notify the community of a full member vote next week. I sat back down, heart racing, ears buzzing. But it was done. The room was alive with whispers and side comments, but the message was clear. Something had shifted. Karen gathered her things and stormed out before the meeting ended. No goodbye, no apology. Just a cloud of entitlement and whatever perfume she uses that smells like stale powder. After the meeting, a woman I didn't even recognize came up to me. "My dad uses a ramp," she said. "He moved in with us last year. I'm so glad someone finally said something." That's when I knew this wasn't just about me anymore. The vote came in the following week, loud and clear. Out of 137 homeowners who submitted ballots, 111 voted to remove Karen from the HOA board. That's over 80%. They didn't just vote her out. They ejected her like a virus the neighborhood was finally ready to be rid of. When the results were posted online, the comments section exploded again. People were sharing gifs of confetti and celebration. One neighbor even posted a photo of a trash can with a tiara and captioned it, "In loving memory of Karen's reign." I can't lie. It felt good. But what felt even better was what came next. The very next day, I found a small gift bag on our porch. No note. Just a simple box of pastries from the local bakery, and a thank you card signed, "From the families you spoke up for." My mom teared up when she saw it. I think that was the moment I realized we weren't just fixing one bad situation. We were resetting the tone of the whole neighborhood. The HOA scheduled a follow-up meeting to discuss the ADA compliance initiative I'd proposed. I showed up again, this time with 2 volunteers who'd also faced pushback from the HOA about accessibility. One of them was a Vietnam veteran who'd had to install a ramp after a surgery and got cited for it. The other was a single mom whose child used a walker after a spinal issue. Their stories were just as frustrating as mine. We weren't angry. We were ready. We wanted change. And we got it. The board voted unanimously to create an accessibility and inclusion subcommittee. It's not just a checkbox thing. It's a real group with real power to review outdated rules, suggest new policies, and advocate for families with medical or physical needs. Guess who's on it? Me, and guess who's not allowed to run for office for 2 years? Karen. But the fallout for her didn't stop at the board level. A couple weeks after her removal, I got a message from her next-door neighbor. He said she was trying to start her own neighborhood improvement club with a few loyal friends, but nobody was joining. Apparently, she even passed out flyers that said things like, "Preserve the beauty of our neighborhood. Keep modifications in check." That went over terribly. People were posting the flyers online and calling them dog whistles for discrimination. One person even responded with a parody version that said, "Let's preserve empathy, inclusion, and common sense. Keep your trash and your bad vibes off our ramps." That version went viral in our neighborhood group. It became a kind of rallying cry. Meanwhile, Karen's once perfectly manicured lawn started looking, well, less perfect. The lawn care company that used to do her weekly edging mysteriously overbooked their schedule. Her mailbox got knocked sideways one day, and it took 2 weeks for it to be fixed. It's almost like karma had a clipboard and a checklist, and while she was stewing in her bitterness, we were building something better. The accessibility subcommittee started holding community workshops. Nothing fancy, just little weekend pop-ups, with coffee, snacks, and helpful info about mobility solutions. We helped one family get a variance approved for a porch lift. Another neighbor got assistance installing handrails on both sides of their front steps. We even distributed guides explaining ADA rules in plain language, so no one could be pushed around or intimidated by fake HOA power plays again. And then came the best moment of all. The HOA hosted a Community Appreciation Day in the park. Something Karen had always blocked before because she said, picnics attract pests. This year, we had over 60 families show up. Kids ran through sprinklers. Neighbors grilled hot dogs. Someone brought a giant inflatable bounce house, and at the center of it all, under a small white tent, was my mom. She sat in her wheelchair next to a display titled, Ramps Are Rights. It had photos of neighborhood, accessibility improvements, quotes from grateful residents, and yes, a screenshot of Karen's trash dumping caught in 4K. That display wasn't about shaming Karen anymore. It was a reminder that one person's cruelty can't compete with a community's compassion, not if people stand up. Toward the end of the event, the HOA president gave a short speech. He thanked the volunteers, shouted out the subcommittee, and then said, "This neighborhood belongs to everyone, not just the loudest voices, but the ones with the biggest hearts, and no one should ever feel like their needs make them a burden." Then he turned to my mom and added, "This event wouldn't exist without your family's courage, so thank you for inspiring us to do better." She smiled, real soft and proud, and I swear I saw her sit up a little taller in that chair. That night, as we packed up, she said something that hit me right in the gut. "You know, I used to hate that ramp. I hated needing it. I felt helpless, like I was holding you back." I looked at her and said, "Mom, that ramp didn't hold us back. It launched us forward." And we both laughed because it sounded cheesy. But it was true. That ramp became a symbol of what happens when you refuse to be disrespected, when you turn garbage into fuel, when you face a Karen head-on and build something better in her wake.